Colorado Buffaloes football coach Deion Sanders, Browns QB Shedeur Sanders draw major accusation during the ESPYS. Colorado Buffaloes football coach Deion Sanders and his son, Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders, caught a stray during the 2025 ESPYS for the pair's supposed display of nepotism in Boulder over the last few years. ESPYs host Shane Gillis took an on-the-nose, punchline-less jab at the two, incorrectly listing Shedeur's record with the Buffs, and sardonically and rhetorically asking if it wasn't nepotism that resulted in the grown QB getting his number at CU retired in April. Shedeur Sanders had his jersey number retired at Colorado this year, and people are saying it's because of nepotism, because of his father, and it's not. It's because he went 13-12 over his career, and he almost won the Alamo Bowl, Gillis prefaced before asking, definitely not nepotism, right? As USA Today's Brent Schrotenboer pointed out, Sanders is considered the best QB the University of Colorado Boulder has ever seen. However, his number being retired before championship-winning signal caller Darian Hagan is controversial. Shedeur Sanders, now with the Cleveland Browns, actually went 13-11 as starting quarterback at Colorado across the 2023 and 2024 seasons while playing for his father, Deion, Colorado's head coach. But he is considered possibly the best quarterback in school history after breaking over 100 school records and reviving a program that went 1-11 in 2022, the season before he arrived. Schrotenbauer wrote, quote, the decision to retire his jersey number still was controversial, partly because it came less than 4 months after his last college game in the Alamo Bowl against BYU, which he lost 36-14. The decision also seemed to overlook other all-time Colorado greats, especially former Colorado quarterback Darian Hagan, who led Colorado to the national championship in 1990 and had a May 2nd, 28 record as QB. But for me, by contrast, Hagan's jersey number never was retired by Colorado. Hagan shared dismay at CU's decision to retire Sanders' Travis Hunter's numbers before his. Gillis just brought the issue back into the limelight, leading to Schrotenbauer putting Hagan into the spotlight in the SBZ's immediate aftermath. In an extremely roundabout way, the joke was a win for everyone involved. You know, prime time is happy for the mention. So, A, he liked In Sickness Sign Him As Battles Act. Hey, Phil, you were prime time, even if it didn't have the purest of intentions. The ESPYs were always a spectacle, a glittering parade of sports royalty, heartfelt tributes, and glitzy headlines. But no one expected this year's drama to unfold under the blinding lights of Hollywood Boulevard. Deion coach Prime Sanders arrived at the ceremony in a silver tuxedo and gold-trimmed cowboy hat, his aura exuding the confidence of a man who had redefined college football swagger. At his side was his son, Shedeur Sanders, the Cleveland Browns' newest franchise quarterback, fresh off a breakout rookie year. The father-son duo had been nominated for the ESPY's Best Breakthrough Story, a nod to their simultaneous rise, Deion revitalizing the Colorado Buffaloes and Shedeur shocking the NFL with poise, accuracy, and most importantly, wins. The crowd buzzed as they walked the red carpet. Interviews, flashes, cheers. Coach Prime dropped one of his signature lines. We're not just making headlines. St. John christened. Coach Prime christened was his first female coach, and not just because of his wife's cerebral brain. The man practiced what he preached. He took care of his body, and his coaches were bumping it into. We are the headline, but inside the Dolby Theater, the tone changed. Just as the presenter began reading the nominees, the auditorium lights flickered. A voice, unfamiliar and stern, echoed from the overhead speakers. Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders. Before you celebrate your success, let's talk about how you got here. Gasps, murmurs, cameras whipped around. On the Jumbotron, a video began to play. Footage from an anonymous source titled The Prime Conspiracy. The room fell into stunned silence. The video allegation, the grainy footage opened with a whistleblower-style voiceover. What if I told you the fairy tale wasn't so fair? Clips, spliced together, included behind-the-scenes training footage, heavily edited text messages, and allegations of recruiting violations during Deion's first year at Colorado, insinuating improper benefits to transfers and tampering with NFL scouts. A second part showed alleged private workouts between Shedeur and Browns executives weeks before the official combine. Tampering? Unethical? Access? By the time the lights came back up, the damage was done. Aftermath, Deion stood frozen, his face unreadable behind gold-rimmed glasses. Shedeur looked stunned, as if blitzed from the blind side. The ESPN host stammered on stage. We apologize for the technical difficulties. The ESPYS will resume shortly. But social media had already exploded. Prime scandal was trending worldwide. Backstage, security ushered the Sanders duo away from the crowd. Deion's jaw tightened. He wasn't angry, not yet. He was calculating. I know who did this, he muttered, pulling out his phone. Shedeur sat down, hands shaking slightly. This is bad, Dad. Deion crouched in front of him. Bad? Son, we've faced worse. This is just another blitz. And what do we do when they blitz? Shedeur answered, almost robotically. Throw it ain't. The confrontation a few hours later inside a private suite above the theater, Deion met face-to-face with the source of the leak, a disgruntled former assistant coach, Marvin "Clip" Clemens. Clip had worked with Deion during his Jackson State days and briefly followed him to Colorado, until he was let go over philosophical differences. Tonight, he had orchestrated the leak in an act of revenge. He didn't expect it to go viral this fast. You think I don't know how you operate, Prime? Clemens spat. It's all flash, no ethics. You buy loyalty, bend rules, make promises you can't keep. Deion didn't flinch. You think I buy loyalty? No, I earn it. I build men. I lift programs. You couldn't even hold a clipboard without screwing up route trees. Then why is half your staff under investigation? Clemens snapped. Why are NFL GMs calling it the Shedeur Favor plan? Deion paused. Then he smiled coldly. Because we scare people, because we win different. Damage control. By morning, Deion and Shedeur held a press conference. No agents, no PR team, just father and son. I'm not going to sit here and let clout chasers write our story, Deion began. If we broke rules, show the receipts. If we cheated, bring the facts. But don't edit together shadows and call it truth. Shedeur took the mic, his voice steadier than expected. People forget we come from nothing. We grind. We sacrifice. You think I got to the NFL because someone handed me a deal? I earned every snap. I got hit like everyone else. Harder, even. They don't hate us because we cheat. They hate us because we changed the game. The press room, normally brutal, responded with rare applause. Fallout. Within days, several parts of the video were debunked. The supposed text messages? Fabricated. The secret workout? A scheduled charity appearance misrepresented with creative editing. Still, the damage lingered. The NCAA launched a formal inquiry into Colorado's recruiting practices. The NFL denied any wrongdoing, but called for clearer tampering protocols. ESPN issued a statement apologizing for the breach during the live broadcast, but called the incident an important reminder of transparency in sports. But Deion, he was already planning the next move.